Hi, I'm Kat from Oh Hi DIY. Thank you so much for watching my video. Today I've got a game changer for you. The best foundation for oily skin and acne. And this isn't an ad, it's not sponsored. This is my genuine opinion that after years and years of searching, I have found my dream foundation. My actual dream foundation. And it is BareMinerals Original Mineral Foundation in light beige number 9. That's just for me, there's 30 shades, so you guys don't need to worry about that. This stuff is amazing. And I'm going to tell you why. I'm going to get into the benefits of in a little bit in the video, but I'm so excited to show you this because I've got oily skin, I've got acne, wearing liquid foundations, and I've tried a lot of them, has never worked for me. I've never found that foundation where I'm like, this one, this is it. And now I have. So I'm actually filming this intro after I've put all my makeup on because I didn't want to go in straight away with a naked face and scare you all. So now I'm going to go back in time and I'm going to show you how I put the makeup on, how I put my makeup on top of it, and then talk you through some of the reasons why I think this is the best foundation ever. So I'm all washed and clean and moisturised. And now I'm going to start putting my makeup on. So first things first, I am going to put on some primer, and I've got the BareMinerals Prime Time Primer here. You can see that. And this is like a gel, so sort of a gel consistency primer, and it's a mattifying primer, which I need because as you can see, I have quite oily skin. So I'm just going to quickly slap this on and spread it around my face like so. Okay, so now that's on, we are going to get into the foundation. So all you need to do is you get your pot and then literally just tap some out into the lid. So I'll show you once I've done about how much I use. So pretty much about that much. And you can see when you tap it out, it actually looks quite dark, and you can see that my face isn't that dark. But when it goes on, it does blend really nicely, so I'm really happy with the colour. This is light beige, which is number 9. So all you do is swirl your brush. I'm using this Spectrum CO3 brush. Swirl your brush, tap it off, and then just start on your face. So work in circles, just gently buffing it around your face. So the thing that I like the most about this foundation is that it doesn't separate from my face. So I've got really oily skin, and what I find with cream foundations is that after a couple of hours it almost starts to lift off my face with the oil, and it doesn't look like I've rubbed it in or blended it at all. And so that is, you know, kind of quite embarrassing where you're at work or in front of other people. It just doesn't look great. This doesn't do that at all, and this is why I love it so much, because it stays in place all day, and rather than looking like an extra layer on my skin, it just looks like part of my skin, which you can't really beat, can you? It's what I've always wanted. And I've bought a lot of foundations. I've bought expensive foundations, I've bought cheap foundations, and this is by far the best one that I've ever used. And it also doesn't break me out at all. You know, the ingredients in it are so sort of clean that it doesn't block my pores, it doesn't break me out. It's really easy to get off as well at night when you're washing your face. You know, I double cleanse at night, so I just use a cleansing balm, take that off, and then wash, and it's all gone. There's no trace on the towel, which also is wonderful. Okay, so you can see it's on now. Get a bit closer. The good thing about it is that it's buildable, so literally it goes from sheer to full coverage depending on how much you put on, which is another really big bonus because you kind of get in everything. I don't know about you, but because I've got acne, sometimes I need to put on more foundation, and then when my spots, like now I've not really got very many spots, so my skin's fine, then I want a lighter foundation, and this is everything in one. You don't need to have two different ones, or like one for summer and one for winter like I had before. You can actually just build this one up. So you can see it goes on really nicely, and it has got sort of a shine to it, so you can see it's got a sheen in it. Now, if you've got oily skin like me, you might not want a sheen in your foundation, and there is actually a matte version, so if you would prefer a matte finish, I quite like the sheen. It's nice and dewy, and as my face gets oilier, it doesn't look super oily. It almost kind of blends in with the sheen of the foundation, which I guess sounds a little bit strange, but it really, really does. It's also SPF 15 this, so it gives you a little bit of protection from harsh sun rays, and if you use stuff on your face like I do, I use retinol on my face, that extra SPF is always good. Obviously you probably should use a sunscreen as well, but it's giving you a bit of extra protection. It comes in 30 shades, 30 shades, so you're guaranteed to find the one that's right for you, that matches your face. You can't go wrong with 30 different shades. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to put the rest of my makeup on, just so that you can see how makeup applies over the top of it. So what I usually do first is just whack a bit of bronzer on. Now I use the same brush, see me, and I've got the Benefit Hoola foundation. This is a travel size one, a mini one, because it was cheaper, which is always good. I really recommend, I've recommended this in my other videos, try buying travel size stuff to try things, because it's going to save you money in the long run, because if you don't like it then you've not spent the full amount and then you don't have to buy any more. So just working a bit of that into my, just under my cheeks, under my cheekbones, do a bit of contouring. One thing I have found since, I suppose since using this foundation, but just in general, and this sounds like such a stupid thing that really I should have realised already, but you don't, when you're applying makeup, particularly sort of powder for contouring and blush, just be really gentle on your face with the brush. So you don't need, because before I'd kind of probably go in like this, you know, really aggressively on my face. Doesn't work very well. Actually, if you just use a really light touch and build it up, and this goes for eyeshadow as well, and anything, you get a much better just a much better result. That's the right word, result. Okay, so now I am bronzed up. I do really like, I've never been a huge fan of kind of expensive cosmetics, and I know I've said I've tried expensive foundations, but that was out of desperation. I do really like this Hoola. It's a really nice colour, and it's just strong enough. It's not like too pigmented where you can accidentally put too much on, but it's also not difficult to get the colour on either. It kind of is just about right. And I have had this now probably for about 6 weeks, maybe a bit longer. And I don't know if you can see in there. Let me just, can't really see, it's a bit dark. There you go. You can see that even the name printed on it hasn't really worn off yet, so it does last a really, really long time, which is good. Okay, so now I'm going to put some blush on, and I am using my Revolution times Patricia Bright Moonlight Glow palette. So the thing I like about this is, as you can see, and it is well used, it's got blush and bronzer or contour and highlight in the same palette. What really annoys me about buying palettes is that you will get sort of, I don't know, 3 blushes, 3 contours, 3 highlights. They're not all going to work for me, so I'm only going to use 3 of them, and then the rest of them go to waste unless I decide to put on something that's not quite right. This is good because it's got everything that I need in one, and it's all going to get used. So I really like that. It's also got a mirror inside it if you wanted to take it anywhere. So I know I haven't used the contour shade from this palette, but I do like it. I just like the Hoola slightly better because it's a little bit warmer. But as you can see, I have used it. So when that runs out, I might use the rest of this. And this is good if you are on the go and you don't want to take your whole makeup bag with you. You can just take your one palette in your bag Right, so now we're going to do some blush. So I've got a blusher brush, just a light dusting, and again, just really light circles, just a gentle dusting on your face, as if, I don't know, you dusting some flowers. Do you dust flowers? But you don't want to ruin the flower, you just want a nice touch of colour on it. So keep going. And again, it's all about building it up. You don't need to have all the colour in the first stroke. You can just keep building it until you've got the shade that you want. So that's probably, it's difficult when the window's on this side because you always look a bit lopsided. That's about right. Okay, and now I am just going to finish that off with a bit of highlighter. I'm just doing some everyday makeup here today. I'm not going big with anything, just an everyday look. So I've got a fan brush, and again, the highlighter in the palette is perfect. So just whack a bit of that on my cheekbones. And again, just, I like quite a lot of highlighter to be honest, but whack it on the cheekbones, and then I always just do a little bit on my top lip and a little bit down the bridge of my nose. Okay, so there's all the sort of face base on, and now I'm just going to finish off with some powder. My favourite powder is Laura, oh, can you see? No, I don't know what's up with my camera. I sent it off to be repaired and now it doesn't work properly. Laura Mercier loose translucent powder. So again, just whack some of that in the lid. Now this one is expensive, but it's worth it because you can see the pot is massive and it lasts for ages, and it is really good powder. It does really work to mattify you. It's not too thick and claggy, doesn't block pores. It has lots of nice benefits to it, which is good. So again, I've got a powder brush that I just use for my clear powder, and then just whack that all over my face. And my face area is now complete. Okay, so next I'm just going to do my eyebrows very quickly. I do not spend a lot of time on my eyebrows. I hate my eyebrows, so I just use this Maybelline Brow Ultra Slim pencil in medium brown. I've got naturally really dark hair, obviously you can't see because it's dyed, and I've only just had it done, so I've got no roots, but my eyebrows are super dark. My hair is, it's not far off black naturally, to be honest, really dark. So I'm just going to pick my mirror up so I can get a bit closer, and literally a liner on the bottom. Like I say, if you are looking for a brow tutorial, this is not going to be the one for you, because all I do is literally just kind of outline the shape a bit more, because my eyebrows are a bit, just had some plucking and shaving accidents with my eyebrows when I was about 11, and they have never been the same since. So no matter what I do, I can't get them to be right. So now I bet, oh god, this has gone drastically wrong. Moving it up a bit. So all I do is draw kind of a solid line along the bottom to give it some definition, and then just try and fill it in and make them as even as I can do along the top. And that is, to be honest, where I leave it, because I'm just not skilled at doing eyebrows. So there we are. Okay, and now I'm just going to put a bit of eyeshadow on. So I'm going to use my Naked 3 palette by Urban Decay. Okay, so I'm going to use my Spectrum A08 brush just to put some base colour on, and I'm going to use Dust, I think it's called. This is really old, so I can't even see the names on the palette anymore, but it's the second one along. Just to give it a nice base. It's kind of a pinky browny shade. And then I'm going to use my favourite of the brushes, which is the C06 brush, and it's got this really nice sort of thick head on it, which I love, to put on some Buzz, I think it's called. It's the 5th one along. Oh, in fact, am I? No, I'm not. Limit. I'm going to put Limit on, which is the 4th one along. So I'm just going to take some of that. And then again, like I said before, just really gently just buff that around my eye. And I know, like, you're going to be watching this going, I know to put my makeup on gently. But I didn't until really recently. And I'm in my 30s. So, just for anyone out there, like me, who didn't get that, you're welcome. Okay, so just buff that along your crease and then moving up towards the eyebrows. So it just gives this really nice sort of blended outline. And then I am going to use my A13 brush, which is kind of got a shorter head on it. And I'm going to use some Nuna, what it's called? Again, I can't read it. Nuna, it's 367 along. And just take a bit of that and just work that into the crease. Like that. And then just drag ever so slightly, drag that from the outer corner in over the lid. Okay. And then I'm going to use some of the Strange on the same brush, which is the first one, just to dot inside the corner of my eyes. If you add a little bit of highlight to the inside corner of your eyes, it just gives, it makes your eyes seem wider. Although, if you're like me and I haven't washed your face properly, apparently, it does highlight if you've got any sleep in the corner of your eyes. So, 2 tricks in one. Okay, and then we're going to take, again with the same brush, just a tiny bit more of the buzz, and then just work that under my lower lash line on this side. Like so. And that's pretty much all I do with eyeshadow. And then I use my absolute favourite eyeliner. And again, I've been through a lot of liquid eyeliners, a lot of them, and this is my favourite. This is the Stila Stay All Day Waterproof Liquid Eyeliner, and believe it or not, it does actually stay all day, which is what you want. Because a lot of the others, I've got really hooded eyes, and either they wipe off or you get transfer onto this bit up here, which is really embarrassing when you realise later that, you know, if you've been at work, you've been in meetings, and then you've had eye makeup all over your face all day. This one doesn't transfer and it does stay. So, and then all I do, I'm going to lean forward a bit so you can see what I'm doing, is I draw a line to the bottom corner of my eye, and then just a line at the top to meet my lash line. Now, I've learned that if you have hooded eyes like me, doing your line all the way along your lid just makes your eyes look really small, and it exaggerates your hooded eyes. So you don't want to be doing that. You want to be opening your eyes up. So the best way to do that is only do the wing on one corner. And again, we'll just do it on the other side. So draw a line down to the bottom corner, and then from the top just link back to the lash line. That's really uneven, so let's just try and fix that up. Now I'm going to show you my favourite tip next, because this really works if you've done your eyeliner wrong. So, okay, so that's now on. A bit of fixing up, sorry you can't see me with that there, can you? Just do a bit of fixing up on both sides so it's as even as it can be, and then done. And then I'm going to use, again, my absolute favourite mascara, which is the Scandalise Reloaded. So I've only just bought this because I say it's my favourite mascara and you're going to be like, what? You're just saying you've only just bought it. This was my favourite mascara, which is the Scandalise Volume On Demand mascara. But it does transfer a little bit. So by the end of the day, you do kind of have a bit of the sort of darkness underneath your eyes, whereas this one doesn't transfer. So I tried this for the first time yesterday and it lasted all day, which is really good. So I'm going to show you So let me see if I can get close and if I can do this in the viewfinder of the camera. So look at my eyes now, and then this is why I love it, because, oh god, knocking things on the floor. Let me just do this in here. I love it because it is such a dramatic difference. And I almost like wearing false eyelashes. Look at that. Isn't that ridiculous? Doop. This is this one. So now I'm just going to finish the other one off. Yeah, I did do my bottom lashes. So just finishing off this eye. Excuse my funny mascara face that we all know we all pull. Okay, so the final thing, and this is a really great little tip, is, if I do say so myself. Okay, so I'm going to use my Spectrum A16 brush, and it's just this kind of fine tip brush, and I'm going to use my Born This Way Too Faced Super Coverage Concealer. Okay, and first thing is take a little bit of this and then just draw it up. It's not going to be hard, this. Hang on, there we go. And then literally just draw a line underneath your wing just to tidy it up. So what this really helps to do is it really opens the corner of your eye up, and also it tidies your makeup up. So it's not so messy, and it gives you kind of a nice sharp line on the side of your eyeshadow. So just blend that in with your finger, you see, and it kind of lifts your face up as well, so it makes your eyes look more elongated. Can you see the difference in that side to that one? And then we just do the same on the other side. So this is the side where I made a bit of a mess of my eyeliner, and so I can just paint over it. I usually just do a few sort of fans out like that in kind of a V shape, and then again just get my finger and just pat it out, and it tidies that right up. Now, what was I going to say? Oh, the reason, and I know a lot of people love putting concealer under their eyes to hide the dark circles, which I do have, doesn't work for me. I don't really have a lot of lines under my eyes, but as soon as I put concealer on them, it just goes pfft. I tried to bake once, and oh my god, I looked like I was about 80. Or literally it clung to my skin, made it look like paper, all dry and wrinkly. It's not for me. So if you do that, carry on and highlight under there, but it just doesn't work for me. It doesn't look good. So that is my everyday makeup. That's done. I've got a full face of makeup on. Woohoo! So as you can see, makeup on goes on really, really nicely over the foundation. It does just sit really nicely on it, and you can see, I hope, that it gives me a nice dewy look. I don't look oily, I don't look shiny. It's really evened out my skin tone, even though I only put a really light bit on. It's not like I've gone for full coverage today, but it's giving me a nice glow. Makeup sits well on top of it. It is my one, honestly. I'm not going to stray away from it because I love it so much. It is so much better than liquid foundation, hands down, for my super oily skin. And I can't tell you enough, I've got acne, I've got oily skin, it's the bane of my life. This is the best foundation that I've ever worn. It's absolutely worth the money. I think it's about 30 quid, but it is absolutely worth the money, and it lasts for ages because you've seen how little that I've put on today. This stuff's great. Also, when you do have a spot, and the worst thing about foundation is when you've got spots and you're covering them up, almost it makes them look worse because it goes all sort of dry and sticky over the top. The powder doesn't do that because it's not a liquid clinging onto sort of a scab. The powder just sort of sits on top nicely and it blends them in a lot more, which I love. I honestly can't say enough good things about it. This is my ultimate favourite foundation. It does last all day. It lasts for, they say it lasts for up to 8 hours, but I found that it lasts longer than that actually, even on my oily skin. So I hope you've enjoyed this video. If you have, please give it a thumbs up. Leave me a comment below and let me know what you think, and of course please subscribe to my channel if you want to see more videos from me. I do lots of things around fashion, beauty reviews, DIYs, and try and upload as regularly as possible. Thank you so much for watching. I hope this has been useful for you, and I'll be back soon with another video. Take care.